I'm delighted to say that the 1878 FM podcast is sponsored this season by Green King Sport Pubs, where football is more than a game. Green King Sport venues are showing every single Everton televised game across the 23-24 season, as well as a host of other Premier League games. With over 900 venues across the UK, it doesn't matter where you're based, you'll be able to catch the action. Head over to Green King Sport's Instagram page and give them a follow at Green King Sport. Now, without further ado, let's get on with the podcast. Hello, welcome to the 1878 FM podcast. Myself, Ed, and Dave. Once again, we are bushless. He will make an appearance at some stage.
Say that.
A small appearance. But we are bushless. But like you said last week, Dave, it is very much... He's not consistent in his appearances in this podcast. He will just be now and then, it seems.
Yeah, I think the balance has shifted. I think that last season when he was technically part of the squad, but then had a dubious attendance record within there based upon fitness and children. Whereas now I feel that actually he isn't in the squad. And will just come back on occasions. So I think what this is, I don't think we should be apologising for him every week, because I think that it's not our job to do that. And I don't want people to expect something that realistically is never going to happen.
Yeah. I don't think he's quite hit the Damari Gray levels. I mean, I've not seen him anywhere saying he can't. He
did say to me that he was worried that Ped didn't show him enough respect.
Well, fair play.
And
I'll be honest,
issue with that.
I've been trying to get him on a Saudi Arabian podcast.
Just to see.
I just feel like that's a market that we could explore using Bush.
FM.
There you go. Well, they're very fond. They're very fond of the Bush there.
Well,
they
don't have much Bush.
No.
So having Bush would be a novelty. And it's a novelty they'd like to explore.
Okay, that's fine.
But it's whether he'd like to explore that novelty.
Sure.
Okay, I get it now. Yeah, I get it. The picture is in my head of the Bush on the sand. Dave,
would there be a camel involved?
I mean, that's extra. That's always extra, I find.
Is it the
involvement of animals is always extra?
No, I mean, I think Dave was more leaning towards like a view you may take from say you were looking down on a camel, you would see the camel toe. I think that's where Dave was more leaning towards with the Bush.
Yeah, I mean, it depends which way you look.
Exactly.
I mean, you could also see the camel's hoof.
You could.
If you're looking the other way.
Listen,
it all depends on the angle, Barry.
It does. We've got off to an awful start here.
The problem is, it's the sand that gets everywhere.
It does.
Everywhere. It gets everything, doesn't it?
And that might be the deal breaker for
them.
And
it's what, are they like oil and water? Do sand and bush mix well together?
In my experience, no.
No. Okay. Yeah. Okay, Dave. Everton play. On to Everton. Who have started the season very much like the start of this podcast today, not brilliantly. 2-2 at Sheffield United at the weekend. 2 points dropped or a point gained for you?
I think the way that it ended up with the Pickford heroics at the end, I think it was probably about the right result, to be honest with you. But I think my issue during the game, especially during the second half, and it just dawned on me, and I just kind of thought, if we're to have any realistic chance of not being in the relegation dogfight, which looks highly unlikely already, we have to be beating sides like Sheffield United, with the greatest respect to them. They're not one of the better sides in the league. And I thought that, they were about our level. And I think that actually, as a sort of acid test, I think they showed us a lot and told us a lot that game. So I don't know. I fear, and I look at the fixtures, and already now at the beginning of September, I'm starting to do what we've done in the new year for the past couple of seasons, where you start trying to work out, how many more points you can get or how many points are realistic. And already at this moment now, I'm sort of going, well, Luton at home, and Bournemouth at home are two massive games now, and they're an absolute must-win, because you look at the fixtures either side of them, and you don't fancy getting us getting anything against Arsenal. Brentford away will be tough. We've got Villa in the cup, doesn't really count. What doesn't count? And then you're into Luton at home and Bournemouth at home ahead of the derby, and so those have to be points that we have to get, and that's the way I'm looking at it in the minute.
And I think that's fair enough. I think. I was frustrated Saturday because I thought it was a massive opportunity, albeit Pickford did make a great double save in injury time, on injury time. I don't know what the ref was playing at, but I just thought it was a big opportunity. And it is frustrating that, I mean, people will look and will point to Fulham at home, Wolves at home, and now Sheffield United and say, Everton have played well enough, if you want to use that term, in all three of those games and should have more points, but
they haven't. But they haven't, yeah. You're absolutely right. And on the day, the three teams we've played were easily beatable, and we've only took a point. And they're not three great sides. The teams you've got to beat, as Dave said, if you want to stay away from that area. I mean, we are going to be in and around it. There's other teams who are poor as well, so it's difficult to see where the points are going to come from, but it's also difficult to see where the points are going to come from for other teams. And Everton have just got to make sure they start picking some up and start showing a little bit of form. Obviously, scoring a couple of goals was good, but obviously the goals we conceded were poor. And as Dave said, the Luton and the Brentford game are absolutely huge. Bournemouth, sorry.
Yeah.
But the Brentford...
Well, I mean, put Brentford in there as well. The Bournemouth at home's easy.
But we've got to start picking points up from the likes of Brentford and just get ourselves in that little mix. And it shows you, doesn't it? It does show you if you're always playing catch up, you'll be playing catch up during the season as well. And whilst not everyone has a settled team. But if you're chasing what you need into the season, like we have for the last couple of seasons, you're always behind. And this is what's happened. Well, it's great saying, well, we look like we've got the basis of a decent team, but it has to bed in. It has to get used to playing with each other. That should happen pre-season.
Well, just what you've said there, the one big plus I would say since we've done the last pod is Beto, who came in and he was very good against Doncaster. You'd expect him to be decent. I thought he was excellent on Saturday, and he is someone, just like you're saying, he is someone who, gives me hope, very much like Eddie Grant asked Joanna to.
Absolutely.
But I've seen enough there. I've seen enough there to think, he's going to be a handful and he'll create chances. But it's just like you said, imagine if we'd have got him in the week of the Fulham game. And he would have been up front against Fulham, and he would have been up front against.
But they didn't realise that we needed a striker at that point, Barry.
You can understand that, Dave, though.
This is it. No, nobody knew this. We didn't know before the season that we needed somebody who could.
Well, you know what I mean, Dave.
It only became apparent after a few games.
You know what I mean, though. If he'd have been in, then chances of he's a handful at least, isn't he?
Yeah. No, I mean he does. He looks really good, I think, and I don't just mean that against bottom of Division 2 opposition in Doncaster. I think he looks really good. I think he looks strong. He's got good feet. He's fast. I think he's got it all, and so I'm really encouraged so far. And likewise, I thought he played well at Bramall Lane. I quite fancied him at one point. I kind of thought, Beto for the winner here. I see it come in now. I just thought it just felt right to me.
Yeah.
When we were sitting at 2-2, I thought, Beto for the winner, and that would be right.
We just didn't create anything. Did we even create anything for him? He
looked
knackered towards the end.
He looked knackered towards the end,
but that's expected.
You wonder though. You wonder why that deal couldn't be done in the summer,
especially the way it's worked out.
The financial stuff hasn't really changed the stuff. We know we're over a barrel. We know there's real problems, and obviously what we've done on deadline day selling Iwobi, it all points to it. I think we're all wide awake to that fact now. But you do wonder why that deal couldn't be done earlier on. If the deal is so good for us, if it's like we're not paying, so what? It's not like we went back and went, listen, we'll do you a great deal where we will give you money up front. The deal's great for us, so why couldn't that have been done 3 weeks earlier? It's so weird.
And also that then transfers to, even modestly, maybe 4 points.
Yeah, Absolutely.
So far. And that 4 points will be massive come the end.
Absolutely.
And that's the harsh reality of the situation. And no, I agree. I don't know what's changed. I really don't know what's changed.
But even when you said in the end, right now, having 4 points would make a massive difference because you're right. But I mean, just like the pressure, there's obviously, when we come back for that Arsenal game, there's going to be pressure on Sean Dyche. There's pressure on the club as a whole with everything going on. It would have took if you're in the 4 points was what be like mid-table right now. And you're just thinking, that's where when we had Rafa Benitez, his really good start, it got us, it kept us away from trouble till January, and even in January we were like 12th when he got sacked, and it doesn't half get you away from the trouble, but we're in it.
Question for you both then.
Go on.
If you had to put money on it now, does Dyche make the end of the season? Go.
No.
Not if Baz has got anything to do with it.
Ped? I'm not saying whether you want him to make the end of the season.
No, I'm saying.
Will he be there in May?
If everything was even, no. But can we even afford to sack him?
What I'm saying the reason why I'm saying it is this owner has got history of bulleting people, of getting rid of people when the chips are down, so to speak. Yeah. You've just mentioned a couple of fixtures. Everton haven't won a Premier League game this season so far. We come back with Arsenal at home. They've just bounced United and look lively, and then Brentford away. If Everton have played 6 games and haven't won a single game, I just don't see how the manager stays with this owner.
And if they get thumped in the cup against Villa as well.
He's already the favourite to be sacked. And then Everton will have give up another 2 games. Now, that's not me saying should he or shouldn't he. Your question was, do you think? And I'm just saying history would suggest that if Everton do lose the next 2, that Farhad Moshiri will get rid of Sean Dyche. Because he'll look and go, we played 6 games and haven't won a single one. Yeah. And we could be like 5 points adrift, say, or whatever.
That's what I was saying. The pressure of if you'd have 4
if we'd have won one of the games, he'd have been fine then, wouldn't he? And that's the frustration. And
what I do find is quite interesting though. His record is abysmal. His record is like 2 wins and 15, which is as bad as what Lampard did and as bad as what Benitez did.
And this win day shows less than Frank's, isn't it?
Which is it is really interesting that people. I mean, I've heard this week that he's a miracle worker. I really don't understand that at all. But the idea that we went, I think we had 1 win in 14 under Rafa Benitez, and he had to be sacked, and Lampard, but we've had 2.
And we've scored 7 goals at home since Dyche took over. No, we ever scored 1 goal in games. So it's not like he's pulling up any trees, but there's obviously circumstances as well which don't help him either. So everyone's got to improve.
Yeah, absolutely. I get the sense at the minute that Dyche is feeling the pressure and is starting to display outwardly the fact that there are major problems at the club. I mean, we know that there's major problems at the club, but you know what I mean? I think he was holding more of a party line and more of an optimistic take on things. And I just feel recently in a few interviews, he's looking a little bit rattled to me and a little bit like, well, do you know what? What do you want me to do about it? Because I can't because of X, Y, and Z.
Well, this is I think what you've got to look at, Dave, when you're looking at it is there's all of this stuff going on with 777, and their reputation isn't great, shall we say, in the media. So there's all that with Moshiri trying to get investors and everything. Damari Gray's now come out and basically said, this fella doesn't respect me, I can't play for him, whatever. And once those cracks start appearing, there's stuff going around that players didn't want to come because it was Sean Dyche, whatever. I don't know whether there's any foundation in them whatsoever, but that's what's being mooted with a few different deals or whatever. And when that noise is there, someone needs to calm it down. And a lot of the time, you only ever calm that noise by winning games of football. Winning games of football buys you the time. And I do feel a bit sorry for him because he is the only one that ever has to face anything. Everyone else stays out the way.
It feels like he's been thrown to the lions. He always has to face the press.
And he always does, to be fair. I mean, he never shirks a tackle in, you know, the press sense. He always comes out and he always speaks. And but yeah, I just.
This undone Lampard, didn't it, at the end in the January window when he really was under pressure, massive pressure, and rightly so. His record was abysmal. He was having to say why Everton couldn't afford 15 million for Danny Ings, and I remember that press conference, and he was fuming because Ings had gone to West Ham from Villa and he wanted him. He just wasn't happy. And it's like, who else fronts it? Nobody fronts it.
What I don't get about him, though, is he goes into press conferences and he tries to be funny, and he isn't funny. I heard the other day with Joe Thomas, and he's trying to be funny with Joe Thomas, and Joe's just trying to ask a question. He's trying to ask a question about the away form, and he jumps in, well, we've only played one Premier League game. He's like, well, yeah, but I was referring to the absolutely horrendous first half against Doncaster. And he was like, oh, yeah, I know. And I was like, what? Why are you've got no rapport with any of these people. And because you don't show any respect to them. You turn up to press conferences half an hour late half the time. You show no respect to them. You can understand why they don't feel anything for you. And he tries to be funny, and it doesn't work because we're not in the situation to be funny. And yet then he has to face very difficult questions. We're not at Burnley. It's not Burnley where it's like everything's all right. Let's, you know, talk about Bank of Dave or something. It's like we have to talk about proper things that are going on. And I do feel sorry for him because he has to face questions that he shouldn't have to face. No one at the football club is prepared to answer any of these questions. The director of football doesn't speak. Owner doesn't speak, and when he does, it's stupid. And he is I fair play to him for dealing with half the things he has to deal with. Frank had to deal with them as well. It's pathetic. The football club in that sense of things is so poor that it leaves the manager to face questions that are not his decisions.
And then it puts more pressure on, doesn't it? It hikes the pressure, and everybody has got to do better at that football club. The manager, the players, the director of football, the owner, the board that is supposed to be new. But nothing's really changed. It's all got to do better because at the moment we are trying to fight fires everywhere. But we did score a couple of goals. We scored 4 goals in the last 2 games, which is a big improvement from last time we recorded this. Andy Bush did send his thoughts in on the game, and this is what he had to say.
Hey chaps, it's Bush, coming to you from a busy Chinatown in Soho in central London. Hope you're doing okay. Sorry I can't be there. Thoughts on the Blues? I feel like we're improving. I feel like we've got a bit of impetus, the Beto effect. I felt like we had a good account of ourselves in the game against Sheffield United. Obviously a brilliant Pickford save at the end. The Dan Juma no penalty thing still frustrates me a little bit, but that's the Everton way, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? But I feel like we're getting there. We've just got to keep building on it. Weirdly though, I did see in the papers today that Deitch is still the number 1 manager out of all of them to get the chop odds on, which is kind of crazy. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see how they keep on trucking. Also, the Damari Gray situation is kind of weird with him obviously saying that the manager doesn't respect me as a person, which ain't a great start. And we kind of need people like him now that we've lost Iwobi. Big respect, by the way, to the person on Twitter who said that Iwobi runs like he's holding a hot tray of food, which made me laugh.
Nice one, and Andy's very positive there. He's saying shoot a recovery and all that. Fair enough. And if you break that down, Dave, and say, well, okay, we've had a draw and a win in the last 2 games. They've scored 4 goals. After the break, we'll have Jack Harrison available. We'll have Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Technically. Delhi's a bit closer. Seamus Coleman's a bit closer. You know, Everton will be a little bit stronger after the break. Yep. Beto, we've just talked about.
Yep.
I guess there is some reason to be positive, and we always beat Arsenal at home, so that's an opportunity.
It was obviously a turning point, last season, wasn't it? Yeah, listen, why not? Bush is a happier, smilier person than I am, and I applaud that. And it's nice to see his face full of optimism. No, I can't disagree.
And hair.
No, and hair. Yeah. Yeah, it is better. It is better than it was. And as you say, there's players to come back, which is got to be a positive. Beto has made a difference. He's given us some kind of much needed focus up front and a target man. So yeah, things are better. Are they where they need to be? No. Are they better than they were? Yes.
Absolutely.
I think it's as simple as that.
Ped, just quickly on it as well with that, is that there's a lot of stuff, a lot of like the chances going around, how many chances Everton are actually creating. And the one, I keep saying this because this is the thing that perplexes me most. While that's good, and I do believe that will translate into goals, I do think the better options we get back into Dwight McNeil, of course, we saw come off the bench the other day, but he was knackered, he wasn't fit, but he will be in 2 weeks. That will increase, and I think we will start taking him. But until we get the other end sorted out, structure-wise, because like individually, Tarkowski done all right at the weekend. Thought Tiara Brandway played quite well. Patterson done all right. Ashley Young done all right, but we're still at 2 goals, and Pickford was good. We have to sort that out, and that's the bit I thought Dyche would have really solid. That was my perception of him.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. We're defensively, we're wide open half the time.
As a team, I'm not.
The midfield doesn't really work as such. It doesn't really give too much protection, and it leaves the defence looking stranded at times, and it's a concern, and it wasn't what we were sold. I think we were sold this idea that Sean Dyche would get the defence absolutely solid, organised, be brilliant off set pieces, defensively and offensively. It just hasn't played out like that. And when you need 2 goals to win every game, in a team that doesn't score goals, it's going to be a struggle. And we have to eliminate. Obviously, if we can get that sorted, then it takes the pressure off. But it's like I just don't find any of it. Like I don't really enjoy watching, as I think we're a really hard watch, and it's difficult. And the way shoots on Saturday, watching Dan Juma, I think he had 6 successful dribbles, which is the most in the Premier League this season. So there are those little moments.
And he's got 2 and 2.
Dan Juma will score goals as well, I imagine.
Yeah, he makes us better, doesn't he, for sure.
But we are tough to watch, though, aren't we? We are like really.
I thought, you know what, on Saturday,
as a neutral,
I thought on Saturday at times we play some nice football attacking wise, but then we'd lull into that thing where we look like we're 11 strangers again. It's like, what is what's the idea? What is the, like, what are we looking for? What are we trying to do? And this is the thing, Dave. Do you think that he's maybe caught between, I'll say the devil and the deep blue sea, but like of being what he was at Burnley and maybe thinking what he has to be at Everton, which is a little bit more because at Burnley, I didn't watch them every week, but they always seem to give most teams a tough afternoon, and they seem to be 4-5-1 quite solid.
Yeah.
And Everton don't really. He hasn't really done that, I don't think, with us. Do you think he's caught between the two, or is it just it just not working? What do you think?
Is it him, or is it the kind of the Bermuda Triangle that is our club, where you look, is it that other factor? That other factor that enables or doesn't enable a whole string of proven good managers of all different shapes and styles and patterns of play,
and some not so good
somehow not work at our club.
Mm.
And I would have to go for that vague obscurity, really, because there's something not right, and I don't know what it is.
I said last week, get a priest in, get every religious kind of person in there.
Batman.
Put Batman in there if you want him. 100%. Piss on all the goalposts. Do whatever, anything to try
if you pissed on the goalpost,
though, Jordan Pickford would
slip on it and break his hand.
They'll do it ahead of the gate, like a few days ahead. Don't do it on the day of a game. That'd just be weird.
Locked up if you did it on the day of a game. For numerous offences.
Many reasons, but do whatever. Get rabbis in there setting the hats on fire. Whatever it is.
Setting the hats
they set
on fire.
Some rabbis. They do. It's a thing. It's a thing.
What did he do that for?
I don't know. I don't know why they do it. I just know they do it.
So you're advocating arson?
Personal arson, I think it's
personal arson.
He was a Danish international.
I thought that was the name of Wenger's book.
Personal arson.
Oh, yeah.
Was he like the worst signing after Per Coldrup?
Quite possibly. He couldn't head the ball either.
What if we put fires and then piss on them to put them out?
Maybe. And there might be one area where you wouldn't piss on it if it was on fire. That's a phrase, a well-known Liverpool phrase. Probably other phrases are available in other parts of the world. Do anything to try to lift the Hadjuk split curse.
I mean, just buy good players.
No, but we've had some good players, and as Dave just said, we've had varying degrees of managers. Two people who've won Champions Leagues have managed Everton. So, and
ever decreasing
whatever,
circles.
yeah. But there must be something.
They can't all be, as I say, and it's just the fact that they're all so vastly different in every single way.
And we've had new players though, Dave. It's not like it's the same squad for 7 years. So something's going on.
If only there was some kind of consistent feature at Everton for the last 30 years that I can't quite put my finger on. I can't quite put my finger on what that might be. I don't know who it is. I don't know what that is.
Well, listen, let's finish the Everton chat on a positive. We are unbeaten in 2. We have scored 4 goals.
Yes.
We have got Beto in.
Happy
and we have
days.
got Beto in that time that he's been in.
Things can only get better.
Exactly. Samuel Beto. And we had Dan Juma with his goals, which is good.
Big snake.
The snake is there.
Got his snake out
We've got another snake. We've got another snake in the a few snake stories later. It's not Ned. And obviously Jarrett Brantwaite's got in the team now and is doing quite well.
He hasn't got a snake. Not that I know of.
He's done quite well. So
he has.
Things Andy Bush has said, things are getting
It's the Bush
better.
mantra.
The Bush mantra.
It is the Bush mantra.
Yeah.
2 snakes in a bush. It's worth one in the hand. I think that's how it goes or something.
Okay.
What's he doing going around Chinatown in,
I don't
in
know.
Soho anyway?
In Soho with his not refusing to shave.
Yeah, he is refusing to shave.
So do we think that there is potentially cause for concern that he might have, lost touch with reality?
Dave,
given up on life?
I don't want to say this. Do you think he might have lost his job and he's just walking around central London and he's telling his wife that he's...
Well, I mean, I have to say that
if only there's some way of finding out.
Yeah, if only we could find out. How would we find out whether he is still doing what he was supposed to be doing?
We wouldn't though. Do you know why? Because he could have been replaced by AI. They could have just got loads of clips of him because he's been on the radio for ages, hasn't he?
Yeah,
with Jason Cundy or whatever he does it with.
Jason Cundy.
It's Richie Cundy.
Richie Cundy.
Yeah,
he was in Happy Days.
That's what he is.
As Richie Cunningham.
We know.
Come on, Dave.
Bloody hell.
But he's done radio for long enough that they could have snipped up all the things he said. And they just, every day he's just talking about like some weird Dolly fan on Facebook.
Well, that's fine.
He must have
I don't think he does that every day.
Well, maybe what they've done is maybe they've taken him off the overall output and then they've just sort of like hidden him away somewhere on absolute 50s or something.
Yeah, absolute bush.
Yeah, absolute bollocks.
There you go.
Absolute bushy bollocks.
Well, maybe if he does go to Saudi, it can be absolute sand and then he's buzzing. Couldn't it? The sand of Saudi, like the sound of Saudi. Could do that.
I like that.
Who knows?
Sound and vision.
Like, there you go. With Bush.
That's a good title for a Middle Eastern based music.
That's not bad. That is not bad.
Vision.
I think though he's a yachtsman now, so it would come into conflict with the sand, wouldn't it? He's very much, man of the sea. Maybe that's why he grew the beard.
Bush
Next minute he'll have a peg leg and a parrot.
I don't know whether he needs a peg leg, but there will definitely be a Greek
the
fisherman's.
Modern pirates have 2 legs.
They have 2 legs, yeah. A Greek fisherman's jumper on he'll have in sort of like October time, and when it goes a little bit cooler.
Well, he is in Soho.
Yeah,
that kind of thing flies in London.
Yeah,
you know what
only
I mean?
the best for Bush's table.
Exactly. There you go. And he'll have them fish finger sandwiches that cost £17.
Remember them when we were in a pub in London and they were like
13 quid then about 15 years ago.
Fish finger sandwich, like, and they thought it was
they thought they'd invent a fire. It was literally 2 bird's eye fish fingers on a white piece of bread with a bit of
No, it wasn't. It was a ciabatta. Come on.
It wasn't.
We were in central London.
It doesn't matter. That's in that pub. It was that. Last together for 17 quid and you got a pint. No, we weren't paying, but they were like, yeah, look at this, lad. Look at this new invention. We were like, what? Fish finger sandwich? That your nan give you in 18 scratch? And they just couldn't believe it, could they? They were bouncing around the pub.
They were all wearing fisherman's jumpers.
They were wearing fisherman's jumper and the Greek fisherman's hat turned backwards like Ben Volpier out
Do
of
you know what my mum
curiosity.
Yeah, my mum used to make for me and my friends when I was little. Her speciality was fish dogs, which was just like the little hot dog buns with a fish finger in there.
Okay, well that got better than what I thought. I was thinking,
yeah.
What is this fish dogs?
No. She
Can I
used to
just
make
say
fish dogs.
What country was this in?
This was in Hong Kong.
Yeah, no, it sounds like a very Hong Kongy thing.
Do you think
in Hong Kong they might have actually had?
I don't think that's got to Warrington yet.
No.
No,
that hasn't got to Warrington yet.
But you could have a fish finger on a hot dog bun, though.
Well,
That's exactly what I've just described.
I know. I did hear it. I was listening. But I'm saying, that'd be all over that in Warrington.
In London, honestly, 35.
In London, that's 35.
35.
I think, yeah, you could do that.
For 38.95, you get that in a pint. That's the discount. Buy them separately, it's 49.20.
I tried to con my daughter into thinking that I was giving her something, with culinary excitement by giving her fish tacos, right? Which is basically just it's a wrap, right, that you buy in Tesco's, and then you just stick a couple of fish fingers in it, and there you go. It's katsu.
Is it nice?
Yeah, it's really nice.
Fish tacos are nice. Yeah.
Okay.
Katsu fish.
I mean, the way he described it, it did sound like it was something you'd get on special offer in the townhouse, but
I prefer talking about this than Everton.
Yeah, it's well better.
Yeah,
I just like the fact that
binned.
Ned just whispered to us.
Ned just
Dave from Hong Kong.
Dave from Hong Kong. That was.
Okay, can I just whisper back subliminally
if you want
to Ned in the gallery?
Go on.
Yes, I am Ned. I am from Hong Kong.
There you go. You can't believe it. Ned is now Ned.
Ned, you're not on this podcast.
Yeah.
You
stay out the way. Stay out the way, Ned. Stay out the way.
Stay in your lane.
Dave, are you aware of the? I mean, you will be, but the sensation. I mean, I've just realised that Ned's like basically.
Where are you going with this?
Well, first and foremost, I've just looked up at the screen and Ned is like basically will be sending a video to me mum asking for like fish fingers and some money as a ransom. Why am I so light in this thing? Why have you made me like a ghost? Is it because you're jealous that
I did tell him, like,
you don't tan?
The lighting was terrible. I did.
That lighting is abysmal.
Is.
Anyway, for all people listening on the podcast, I basically. Yeah. Anyway,
the thing is, he could change it at any time, but he refuses to stand up.
He's got Dave. Are you aware of the Lionel Messi Inter Miami sensation, where everywhere he goes, the stars roll out? Are you aware of this?
I haven't heard any stories of them all rolling out to see Messi. No.
Okay, so it's a big thing. Generally, it's when they're at home. Mr. Beckham has quite the cast there, but they played LAFC the other night. The guest list had Selena Gomez, Prince Harry, Owen Wilson,
Meghan Markle,
LeBron James,
Owen Wilson,
Jason
Owen Wilson
Sudeikis
from the Sophology advert.
Yes, the
that
fella,
one.
yeah,
the fella off the couch fella.
Ted Lasso,
the couch
fella. You know.
Coach Beard.
Coach Beard
loads of
there was
loads like famous American people that we don't know. Actually, your mate was there.
My mate,
Nas.
Oh, Nas, yeah.
Nas was there.
Nas.
NAS. Remember when you were in New York and you got a picture of him?
Oh, him.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, my mate.
Your mate.
You know, your mate.
The one who's on speed dial, you know.
You only couldn't remember him because you haven't rung him back for so long.
That was it.
No.
You've ghosted him.
Swerving his calls.
You've ghosted him.
Sorry, I call him Nas, not Naz. That's why.
Yeah.
I didn't know what you meant when you said Naz. I was thinking, who's Naz?
Prince Nazeem Hamid. What's he been doing getting invited over? Yeah. So this is like a big thing. And it got me thinking, obviously, Everton move into their stadium at some stage next season, unless the club decide to leave an empty stadium that's cost hundreds of millions to build empty for the rest of the season. Or they get off, because we can't afford it. But when the stadium does eventually open, like what kind of guest list of people? Oh, and I said this to Pep before. I said, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to do like a guest list of people you'd want to see there. But what you can do is you can use the last kind of like 30-odd years rather than it just being current now. Because I think, one of mine would be Harry Cross from Brookside. I think Big Harry. I know, time's moved on. But
times are hard.
Times are hard and friends are few. So what kind of Liverpool or Evertonian legends would you like to see at Bramley Murdoch?
Well, I mean, I can bring two with me just like that. On speed dial, I can arrive with Anton Powers and Liz McLaren from Atomic Kitten. Boom!
Why wouldn't
the hat trick there? The dream team, the three.
The dream team.
Exactly.
The three.
I mean, Good friend of ours, Anton. Terrible footballer, good DJ.
Yeah.
Terrible footballer.
That bad a footballer that he refused to even come on for 1 minute.
Would he, in the tournament at Goodison?
Really?
Kick a ball.
He just wouldn't even come on. He left it to me and Baz to win the tournament. He left it to us. We had to
He
sing.
was there looking great, money. Like, I'm ready. I'm a young, hip DJ. I'm ready to go. And he refused to come on because he couldn't
So all
kick
that
the ball.
time on the decks.
It was.
You know, we'd wasted
Spent more
that
time on the deck.
time playing football.
Yeah.
You know, so...
I
and Liz
suppose it's
McPartland-
like him doing like one of his sets and saying to me, do you want to come and have a go? I would very much stay out the way, keeping the ball up and let him do his thing.
With your tape recorder.
That's it.
And Liz, of course.
With me Walkman.
Yeah, with your Walkman. Liz, of course, you know, someone who I remember used to wore an Everton kit and adverts on bus shelters.
She did.
And I used to steal them from the bus shelters.
Okay.
No, she's tops, is Liz.
None to make you whole again. Yeah. So you're bringing, so them two will be on it.
That's what I'm packing.
You're packing them too.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna go for Pete Price and Per Palachi.
Is Per Palachi still a
It
thing?
doesn't matter whether Per Palachi's dead or alive. The legend lives on.
Dead or
it
alive.
doesn't matter.
Obviously.
Pete Burns,
is obviously,
of course, famously. 100%. Pete Price has got to be there.
The lizard man has got to be there.
Brings the drama.
Yeah, he does bring the drama. Imagine him bouncing into Brandymore.
I'd be brilliant. Hey, you, Miko, you lizard.
You lizard, Miko, run. Yeah,
that'd be tremendous. He'd sort dice one way or another.
One way or another.
Tremendous, Pete Price. I mean, what a guy. What an absolute... I'll give him a lift once, Pete. Nice fella. So you bring the drama, and Everton right now or in the future, what they need is a little bit of drama.
Absolutely.
Not enough drama.
There's not ever enough drama.
Or he could have an Everton phone it, like a proper Everton phone it. What do you want?
Yeah.
What do you want
to say?
We need a new right back. So don't come on here telling me I need a new right back.
We don't need a new right back.
No, but that's the drama. See,
back.
he's telling people you don't need a new right back. That's the phoning we need.
Yeah, maybe that's what Everton should do. That 5 till 6 after the game.
He's just a.
Well, he's an urban legend.
Well, after the Plinky Plonk man. You know, again, we have these legends in Liverpool, don't we?
Well, urban myth, like myth, soap legend.
Urban myth side.
Well, no, but they. Yeah.
Do you remember the Plinky Plonk man?
No.
He was a guy in town who used to just.
Is this the guy with the cardboard guitar?
Yeah.
He was on the bottom of Mathew Street. Wasn't he?
Yeah.
No.
And he was there for years and years.
That's what we used to call him.
With a cardboard guitar.
So I'd have him, and I'd have him absolutely.
Would you have? Was he
he'd open the ground.
Him and Ned.
He'd be the music sensation. Plinky Plonk man.
Would he be better than Ned on guitar?
Him, Anton Powers, Liz, and Ned. That's a super group right there.
Isn't it just?
I'd have Herbert, the hairdresser. Get him. I think he'd be great. Him with Pete.
Yeah.
Just doing a couple of,
It's very interesting that both of your guests are dead.
No, but it's people over the period of time, innit?
Okay.
Damon Grant, he'd be there.
He's not dead.
He's not dead.
I mean, Damon Grant's dead.
No, we know Damon Grant's
Well,
dead. You said dead,
person
but
who
then
played him is
Damon's
very much
dead. But
not dead.
Simon O'Brien is very much
Simon
like
O'Brien's still
Alan
alive.
Evertonian.
He's making stuff out of old
He is.
antiques and stuff, isn't
On
he?
Channel 4, yeah.
Yeah, he's doing
Big Blue Nose.
upcycling. Is that the phrase?
Well, and the irony is he loves a bit of cycling as well.
There you go. So it's cycling and upcycling all in one go.
All rolled together.
We've got a good. We've actually got a Simon O'Brien Everton shirt in this.
We have.
Because I played in a tournament with him on Sky, and he didn't want a shirt, and I just took it.
As you do. Fair play. Swap with the players on your team, but he didn't want yours.
Didn't swap. I just took it.
No. Oh, I knew. I was trying to give you a little bit more.
I don't need an out.
Is there anyone else?
Come on, Dave. You must have more.
Is it framed, by the way?
No. It's just a.
No, just hanging on.
I just wondered whether you'd got it sort of framed, in the same.
Hey, get it to upcycle a frame.
Upcycle a frame.
Yeah.
Or get a frame made of cycles.
Yes, and that would be very much part of our sustainability program.
Exactly.
Big though, big. Awkward.
Made of a chain.
Yeah, made just a chain wrapped around.
Oil all over the kit.
Oil wrecked the kit. Mightn't work.
Come on, Dave.
Any other ones?
I've just given you two superstars.
What about Jimmy Corkill? Did you have Big Jimmy there?
Jimmy Corkill.
All right, kids, as he bounces in.
Yeah, I could sort that out. I've met him before at the Liso Castle once.
Get him.
Who else? Elton Wellesby.
Well, yeah, you could.
You could.
I mean, he was asking Everton to sign Barry Bannon on deadline day because we were struggling for a player. So maybe we keep Elton away from like the director of him and Kev having a chat, him and big Kevin Thelwell. Kev, have you thought about this Barry Bannon? And Kev would be like, no, I'm still trying to convince Steve Bull to come, the Wolves connection, get him in. Because, Kev's list only contains Wolves players. It'd be quite interesting, yeah. Interesting. Who else? Come on, who else is there? What about Sonia? Would she be there?
Sonia.
She was at Eurovision, of course.
She was all over Eurovision.
She loved Eurovision.
That was a big comeback.
Yeah,
it was a massive comeback. I mean, honestly, when that announcement was made, when it was between Liverpool and Glasgow, she must have been sitting there on the edge of her couch thinking,
"Oh, I'm back.
This could be me. This is me back." And then suddenly, popcorn in the air and everything. Boom.
Oh,
she's like a reborn.
Oof, straight to the one show.
Just there.
That's what it was like.
That was what she was looking.
That's what it was like. So yeah. Hey, Gemini, can Gemini be on it? Because again,
yeah, quite a guest list. It's quite a guest list. It's an eclectic mix, really, isn't it? Just thinking,
it's kind of like, would we describe this as the Toffee Rati?
That's
quite possibly, because some of the we could even have other ones who aren't Evertonians, but we just want
quite
them.
A few of them aren't Evertonians.
No, I know, but we want them there, don't we? So we're looking. Is there anyone we've missed?
We're missing out.
Any obvious
massively?
Ones? The Queen of Thingy Road.
No, Claire Sweeney.
Road. Claire Sweeney, big Toffee.
She'd come with.
She's in Corrie, of course. She's in Corrie. Yes, she's Thingy's mum, isn't she? Tyrone's mum or something in Corrie, apparently. She's in Corrie, big blue nose, of course.
There's loads of Everton connections with Corrie, isn't there, or something like that?
Well, I mean, who knows? Who knows? Rita's son, or whoever it was. Betty, what was he? Betty. Was he Betty's mum?
They've put me on a bed sheet, Betty.
On a bed sheet. Yeah, listen, great time.
My God, man.
My God. Look at that, Leonard Ross, that's another big Evertonian. My God. Reggie there bouncing in.
He won't be there though, will he?
Well, why? Because he's left his kecks on the beach and gone to the sand with Bush to sound and music.
Surely he's dead, isn't he, Leonard Ross?
Nobody can be dead. A few of these we've mentioned, Dave, are dead.
Fine. I just thought you meant career-wise. I didn't know you meant actually dead. Fine.
No.
Dead.
Come on.
Okay.
Come on. He's had us off there, hasn't he?
No.
He's had us off.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. Well, it's not quite Prince Harry and Selena Gomez and all that, but why not? You could have, we've what? John Parrott. Well, John Parrott is an Evertonian.
He's a good one.
You could have known John Parrott since I was a kid. He's an Evertonian. And Big Dunk. Will Big Dunk be invited?
Yeah, he's
got to be Route 1, that, isn't he?
Yeah. But he'd be there, wouldn't he? He'd got to be there.
Anyway.
Be there, just... Would he come with John Parrott? Brother-in-laws together? Would he
Possibly.
Interesting.
Possibly.
Who?
Oh,
Amanda Holden. Oh, God, Amanda Holden. Yeah.
I mean, anybody would think that Ned, right at this moment now, has just Googled celebrity.
He is Googling.
He's actually working his way through
He's going to. I wouldn't mind. Sorry.
List.
Standard.
Take my mind off Amanda Holden. Let's move on.
And famously, Dingo was an Evertonian as well. And I can't think of her name. She's in the advert with the brilliant actress.
Say it.
I can't.
Judi Dench.
Judi Dench.
Get him there.
Judi Dench, famously a big Evertonian.
Big blue nose.
Big Evertonian.
Get her there.
There you go.
Her and Jenny can turn up together. Jenny
I'd
well, she's got to be there, Jenny.
Well, my God.
My God, we're back on him again.
Yeah.
Miss Jones, aren't we? We're back. Back to Rigsby.
There you go.
What a section that wasn't incredible.
But would you want to sit in that section?
No. I just want to.
What do you think? Do you think that section would be distracting? And
I think so.
I just think Tony Bellew would have a hell of a night with Palaki there.
I want to see Herbert just clocking all the hairstyles.
He's dead.
I know, but
it's a bit of an issue.
There's a few there that are dead, but
we're having a ghost section.
Maybe. I just think if you could get them at different times and get them in, it'd be quite interesting.
It really would be the spirit of the blues.
It would be spirit of the blues.
Ah, very good. And as if to wrap up
this
segment beautifully.
Beautifully. Right, in our group, I've sent you what is basically a QR code on a man's arm. I thought Ned would, and he will put it up right now. There you go.
Yeah.
There you
I
go.
need to put me Nana specs
There you
on?
go. There you go. So essentially, there's a gentleman. I'll call him that because I'm being kind to him. There's a fella who decided to get his Tesco Clubcard QR code on his arm because he'd often go to Tesco and forget his Clubcard. So I'll just read you. His name's Dean Mathew. Yeah. There you go. Give him his full thing. He got the QR code permanently linked on his arm because he'd keep forgetting it. Yeah. He's quoted as the Tesco superfan. Yeah. Very much loves Ted Lee, another Evertonian, he'd be there. And it's been 8 months since he went public with his QR code tattoo, and he says he has no regrets for getting it.
He also has no friends.
He's a dad of 3, and he gets to use this bit a lot. Well, it didn't alarm me, but it made me think, really? He gets to use the tat twice a day. Why is he going to Tesco?
Twice a day?
Twice a day.
I mean, that's just poor planning, isn't it?
It is. He's already said he keeps forgetting his club card. So does he go and forget half of the shopping so he can go back and just fire it?
My worry is is he like forgetting the bags, and what's he going to do? How's he going to get them tattooed on him?
Well, yeah. I mean, I hadn't thought of that, but I have. I just thought, hey, it is practical, but that is a weird tattoo to get off your club card.
I don't know him, but he's a massive tit. Right? I don't, because...
The opinions of Peter McPartland aren't necessarily the opinions of other members on this 1878 FM podcast.
You've got to think about it like this. What he's saved in money, he's paid out for in a tattoo. When's that tattoo going to start paying for itself?
It might be that if he goes twice a day, I'd suggest now.
Do you know what, though? But actually, joking aside, I went to Tesco's yesterday, our little mini one, right? Yeah. Which is more expensive than the big one. But anyway, I didn't have time to go to the big one. I managed to get £6. My initial bill was £33 something, and it came down to 27 with the club card thing. That's a big saving.
That's a great saving.
But don't you think they probably just added £6 on to the cost of everything? Just to make you feel like you'd made savings.
No, because there was a special on the multi-packs of ham, and also the cheese was on one as well.
Yeah. Dave, there's only 2 of you. What are you doing with all that ham?
That's for lunch.
That's his lunch.
Yeah.
Yesterday it was fish tacos. Today it's ham. Fish tacos.
No, fish tacos is more of an evening thing.
Okay, I'm trying to get you out of it here, Dave, and you've let me down.
There's a lot of ham going on in
there. Is a lot of ham.
Hey, I had chicken soup the other day, and that was a sign that the seasons are changing.
Except we're back into pure sun.
I know.
I saw your picture of Bourne End.
This is before the sunshine came out, and we had this, the nicest weather we've had all summer. The other day, it was a bit cold last night.
It was a little bit chilly.
Chicken soup. I thought you had a medical issue then for a month.
Chicken soup for the soul.
It just felt a bit right. Like summer was over and it was 12 degrees. It felt like soup time.
Yeah, fair enough. I have soup every Monday.
No one can have a go at you for that, Dave. No one. Moving on to our next randomness. I saw this as well. I was having a look at some random news in this one. And this really is for the headline. Ned will put it on now.
Or the Ned line.
The Ned line. Well done, Dave. That's classics. What you're here for.
That's what I'm here for.
Ambitious man tries to smuggle 14 live snakes in his pocket at an airport. I love the fact it's ambitious man. Yeah, is it not weird though? Tries to put 14 snakes. Right? 3 of the serpents, this is for Ned, were ball pythons, also known as royal pythons, which are African species listed as near threatened on the International Union for the Conservation of Nature's Red List. The law requires all animals transported in and out of China first to be quarantined and inspected. But this fella decided to put them in like stockings and socks in his pockets, and then was looking nervously as he approached.
He's got
pocket full of snakes, pythons. Snakes. I mean, I'm just pleased that he did put them in his coat pockets and he didn't try and kind of hide them in his person, which would be more worrying.
Yeah, up his chicken soup.
It's a strange story, though, isn't it? Don't you think?
I mean, that's why Baz has found
the only reason I say that is because that's traditionally how some smugglers do smuggle things in their person. I believe I've seen Narcos, right?
But why 14? Could he? Did he not just want to go for like 2, where he might have got away with it?
Might have been on order.
Yeah.
Well,
no, if you order like pizza and a garlic bread and some dips and they
put them in the bleeding socks in your pocket, I'd be absolutely fuming.
But if they brought you like a fishy hot dog, you'd be devastated.
I'd get Pete Price a phone. Hey, you lizards! Get me something.
No, he'd go, have you got any lizards?
That's Ned. That's Ned phoning the local pet shop. On to me next weird story. You're down full of them today. Woman who married a ghost.
Yeah.
Ditches her husband after less than a year, and this has fascinated me. This story.
Was she going to the Bramley-Moore opening as well?
Oh, she's on the list. She's on the register. For sure.
I mean, maybe
she's on the register. You're right.
Maybe he's just ghosted her, right? I don't know.
Yeah,
but listen to this. A singer who claims to have married the ghost of a Victorian soldier says she's getting divorced. Brocarde, 40 from Oxfordshire, said she met the spirit of Eduardo one stormy night in 2021 when he burst in her bedroom and professed his love for her.
Clubcard tattoo.
Possibly. They supposedly then became inseparable, with the ghost even sending her cryptic messages in the shower. But it didn't take long before cracks began to appear in their otherworldly relationship.
Yeah. I can understand why.
This is what she said. I swear he's turned into a complete groomzilla and his lists of demands grow daily. Eduardo's always had a temperamental nature, but the nuptials seem to be bringing the worst out in him. The singer also claimed the spirit often took issue with her discussing their relationship publicly. Though this didn't keep her from appearing on This Morning and posting the wedding ceremony on Instagram. She said he became possessive. Then, listen to this.
I like it.
It's a classic. It's a classic.
Good.
But
Spirit of the blues.
his apparent fascination with Marilyn Monroe has appeared to prove a further obstacle to marital bliss. She even claims she spotted the spirit of the late Hollywood actress at the chapel. Yeah. She told Wales Online that he would routinely disappear and then emerge later smelling of Chanel No. 5, Miss Monroe's favourite perfume. Brocarde has announced a split with the release of her latest track because she's a singer. What do you think of that?
Do you know what I think?
I think
she's mentally ill.
Yeah.
Possibly.
That's what I think.
It's not that, it's that other people buy into this. And also, who does he think he is? Just because he's dead and Marilyn Monroe's dead, that's all they've got in common. She could have any dead person she wants. And she thinks...
Harry Cross for one.
Maybe not Pepper Lackey.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Well...
So,
she has got muscle.
Scary music to go with your ghost story. Hang on. No, hang on. There you go. That's scary, isn't it?
That is terrifying. Terrifying.
That would have gone with you. That would have gone with your thing before as well. What did you say before?
Is that a Casio preset?
I honestly can't remember.
Is that a Casio keyboard preset?
Oh, Ghost of the Dave. Was it that one? No.
Oh no, that's the wrong one. Hang on.
Oh,
no, that one.
What the hell is going on here? Absolute class.
What's going on? No,
I mean, why
are we giving these people this time of day though? Literally, like, why?
Because it was this morning, to be fair. And Wales Online.
Yeah.
It's very Baron Hard. What's going on here?
Oh, Dave's found himself.
The full Baron Hard up there, isn't it?
Can you imagine? God, this podcast he does for the EFL must be hoot a minute.
Yeah, it must be. Yeah, must be.
They don't let me put any sound effects on it.
I am surprised, Dave.
That does surprise me.
I am surprised. There you go.
It's the League One Manager of the Month.
Oh my God. Andy Bush was back with a question for us all. Here's his question.
Question for you today. If you could get some TV work with a specific part of your body, what would that be? Maybe Vitty with all of his cycling and paddleboarding. He's got amazing pins. Baz's strong arms. The beautiful cheekbones of Peds. If you get some work in TV commercials on one part of your body, just based on its looks, what would it be?
Okay. Right, all right. Okay. Yeah, my toned arms or whatever, or Dave's great pins. Dave, and I mean Andy's basically said it's your pins, but if you could choose one body part that you could be on TV advertising or be famous for, what body part would you go for, Dave?
I think if I was to be a model, I've always thought that I'd probably be a good sock model.
Sock model? Is it for the legs?
Yeah,
toned legs?
Socks,
paddleboarding.
I think I've got quite nice legs.
Okay, yeah,
for a bloke.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would have to agree with Bush, and I think that that's my best feature. So I'm going to go for ankles, legs, that sort of.
And there's a market there as well. You know what I mean? There's a market for socks, so it's difficult with other areas of the body.
I mean, there's always got this. Well, not always, but you would expect there would always be a market for socks, wouldn't you?
I believe so.
Yeah, I mean, I think as long as people have feet, they'll need socks.
Then I think
that's
so.
what they say, isn't it?
That's it. If you've got feet, put socks on.
It's an important barrier between the skin and the shoe. I find.
I mean, those Teds in London who wear just no socks with them.
Well, they wear like
duty
feet sock.
I don't know whether they do. I think
they don't go
just wear
past
them.
the ankle.
I don't know. The pants.
Do they have little toey fingers on them as well?
The pants don't go near their ankles when you see them ones. But yeah, socks. Dave's going with the socks. Is it because of the Hong Kong leg?
I mean, I'm not aware of the thing called the Hong Kong leg.
No, but you're saying you say, well, possibly. I mean, you are the one more qualified than us. But he said he's got good leg.
Oh my God.
Canned laughter is there.
Ned's terrified for this job.
I can't believe it. Ned, Dave producing and sound effects on the fly.
Dave's like, this is what a proper producer does.
Ned thinks Dave's invented fire here. That's what he's looking at. Looking at.
It would actually be better if I had these little buttons labelled. I would actually know what they were.
That would be incredible.
I have to go through this sort of trial and error thing where I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing. But
Dave, it's worked.
Yeah,
it's worked.
It's worked beautifully.
So Dave's going with the sock model. He wants to be famous for his socks. Yeah. What are you going for?
I'm going for the thigh area.
The thigh?
But I don't know what
What would you advertise? Have to be the Bills if it's thigh.
But no, I don't know. I don't know what I'd advertise. Maybe.
What about cream removal for thighs? But you'd have to be baldy. You'd have to bushless. You'd have to be.
I actually seen that the other day. I was looking for some beard oil. In
for your thighs.
Yeah, for my thighs. Beard oil.
I mean, that's a bit.
And I actually
have you got like an Andy Bush growth on your thigh? That's
seen something like
I'd seen some Bear Grylls thigh.
It was Vitty for men.
Vitty for men.
Yeah. I think it's for
your back sack and crack.
I think so.
Back sack and crack. Beard oil turned into back sack and crack. Thigh gel or something.
Yeah. So
Ted with the smoothest thighs in the West.
Absolutely.
The smoothest thighs in St. Helens.
That's the.
I mean,
he's not. It's
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry.
Ned would be.
Ned could do this.
If he couldn't make it to St. Helens, they wouldn't know what to do with it. They would be stunned.
Hair removal in St. Helens.
Are you joking?
We're talking. I've only just got hair. Just got barbers in St. Helens.
Go on.
You got hair. What's wrong with you, man?
Go on.
Shouldn't you have lost that when you're 22? Don't pit.
Look at Ned's face.
So
Ned's face.
You don't speak normally.
Go on.
Just got
It's just arrived.
Probably like maybe a layer short. Layer short, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe I can advertise under.
So you'd have the layer, like the base layer short, but you'd also have what I can only describe as like athletic shorts, so that we're not seeing you meeting two beds. So it's really just that bit of the thigh with the layer short.
I suppose it's just how you take the photographs. If you take the photographs in a sensitive way, I think you just get the thigh and maybe from above.
I'd like to think the photographer would always be sensitive with you.
Yes, I'd like to think so.
Well, you'd hope so. Especially if you've beated or you've got your beard oil on, whichever. What would you do? Would you do one with your beard oil first and then Vitty, so we're getting two different legs?
Yeah.
As opposed to
maybe.
You know what I mean? Almost like a before and after. They'd
like
save money.
Dry. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. They could save money by they don't need two different models to just do that and then go and Vitty yourself up and come back and we'll have to smooth.
Put one leg in the sun. So it's a slightly different shade of red to the other one.
To be honest with you, they could probably do it in post anyway.
Yeah, I mean, everything can be done in post now.
AI would sort that, wouldn't it?
Making us basically all worthless.
But while we're trying to be famous for that, you'd go for thigh.
Yeah. Two.
For two, both thighs. Both You're not just happy with one.
No, I want both.
Are you going with both legs then, Dave, for the socks?
Yeah, I like both of them equally. Honestly, I've never had a favourite.
No.
Well, the good thing about that again is you're not only selling a right sock, you're selling a left sock as well. Which again, I'm sure there's a small market for one socks, but you know
what they say, Peter?
Go on.
Socks sell. Socks
sell. That's literally a phrase. Might have been me cock. Why not? No, seriously. Seriously.
Seriously.
It be me balls. No, seriously.
Try the veal.
Yeah, no. Get the Vitty on it first. An elbow.
Where are we putting the Vitty?
Elbow. Your elbow.
No, your elbows are horrendous. That's dead knobbly.
It's an elbow. What they're supposed to
They're
be
not
like.
supposed to be like that. You could
Look at yours.
I'm not being funny. You could leave a picture frame on that.
No, I'm saying I'm not saying I've got good elbows, but I'm saying imagine being.
Have you filed that down?
I'm a famous. Feel how smooth my arm is there, by the way.
You look like you feel. Oh, that's the Vitty effect. No, I can see it.
Smooth.
It's Vitty effect. You look like you filed your elbow down.
Why would I file? It's sitting on
don't
this desk
know.
My God, Peter. I think it'd be interesting to have a famous elbow because people wouldn't know it was your
What would
elbow.
you be selling?
Those things, like the
Captain's
thing that you
armband?
see, a captain's armband would be one, wouldn't it? So they could use me for the captain's armband. The one where, those card players and they always have those little clips there. I've always been fascinated by why they have to have them on a shirt. But I'd roll it up so you could see the elbow, but I could still advertise that as well. And no one would know. I'd be able to walk down the street. No one would know it's my elbow.
Oh, that's
Do you know
distinctive
how we
elbow.
could develop this as well? And this, when you put your elbow like that and it makes that crease here, right?
Yeah.
And then
The crease
we could
that looks
actually
like-
get a sensitive photographer to actually take a little close-up picture of that, and we could stick it on the Toffee TV website, and then people would have to guess whether it was, an elbow or like Ped's bum crack or something like that.
Guess the elbow.
It's fun for everybody.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, people are queuing enough to have a go,
Yeah.
surely. Exactly, yeah. I mean, it could be, that'd have to be after dark, I guess.
Sounds
but
like a winner.
listen, why not?
Interactive.
It is very, very interactive,
It could be a game show.
which could be
Guess
hosted.
my crack.
Is it a real crack?
Krakenori.
Is it? Well, that would be Ned, obviously,
Crack
giving us
or
the
sack.
story. Crack or sack.
Channel 4 would have that on
Doesn't
at half
Channel
11 at
4,
night,
yeah.
or like every night of the week.
Yeah.
Some of the shite they piss out.
Well, I mean, some of it, if you looked at it, you would think you were on Naked
You like
Attraction.
trying to do that thing where men go, oh, it's in that direction.
Well, what did Bush say about my muscular arms? No, I was just seeing if it was like Naked Attraction, could you get away with it? I mean,
maybe it could.
that is a game that Dave's put out there. Why wouldn't we all have a go?
Exactly. Why wouldn't you? It's
don't know.
interactive fun, and it may actually help to generate a new audience.
Who knows? Listen, like you said, Dave, socks sell,
Socks sell.
So.
don't they?
Mm-hmm.
Not a band in here. No,
Soft sell.
Nah, yeah.
No, what it...
Tainted glove.
Tainted glove. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
It's a mouthful, that, isn't it?
Isn't it just?
And he
So
did.
is Gene
Apparently he
Pitney.
did like it, didn't he? He's found his buttons. He's found the buttons.
Oh, I kind of know which one each one
That
is.
was,
now.
that was a cracker. You
I
found
mean,
the...
if we want
Hey.
some music to play us
Hey.
out,
No!
Imagine that. Hey,
we've got our own music and
so
everything.
Ryan Lowe, 3 defeats in a row.
A little bit of the old drum kit there. Ned's in his elements here.
Oh dear.
I don't know, Ned. I'm not in the room with David Vitty.
It's just sound effects.
He's just got sound effects.
Leave the shop talk till after we finish.
He's a full producer with there. Have we got anything else before we wind this up? Is there anything you
Not
want to
really,
go out on?
No, I just want to point out that Ned is wearing someone else's shoes today.
That is a
I think
fact.
that has to be brought to
That
everybody's
has to
attention.
come into the
Hang on, but
podcast.
that's weird,
Isn't it weird, Dave?
Yeah, weird.
He's
I mean,
wearing
other
someone
people's
else's
shoes.
trainers. And you know what's worse? They're not even nice trainers. They're horrendous.
Take a picture.
Oh yeah, but they were free.
Can we get a
It doesn't
picture?
matter, they're free.
And
There's
they're mine trainers
bread
now.
rotting in the street. That's free. You wouldn't eat it, would you?
They're mine.
Could
They're
we
not
get
yours.
it? We'll get a picture data, but we won't put this out there. But we'll put it on our group
They're mine
Please do,
trainers.
that'd be good. That'd
just
be
to see, just so
they're
you can get,
horrendous.
just so you can get an image,
turned
Dave,
down
of
free
what we're wearing.
I would turn down free training
To finish,
because
Ned-
someone else's sweaty feet.
Like,
have
hang
been
on,
in
hang
them.
on, hang on. Let's move away. Like, we're about to finish now, but in an unprecedented move, I'm going to ask Ned a question on this podcast. He's never been allowed to speak on it before. Ned,
He has invited himself
for
to
a
speak.
body part, a famous body part that you would like to model and get maybe a TV career for, what would you choose?
Well, you got to think what's the most unique part about me. So you got no competition. I reckon breasts, calves, thighs, bum.
Breasts.
It's all
Definitely breasts.
talented.
Moobs are not something you would want to be famous for.
That might be a new
Yeah, but
market.
who else has got man breasts like mine?
Yeah.
So when
Okay.
they come into fashion,
Yeah.
I'll be the ones with the best.
So,
You know what I
okay,
mean?
all right,
When
no,
man
fine.
boobs are popular.
Fine.
I'll have the
I'm
best.
not having a go with you, right? But just for clarification, what would you be modelling then with your man boobs?
My chest.
No, you can't just model a chest.
Why not?
People aren't buying
Never
chests,
heard of
are they?
OnlyFans. I don't know, a scarf.
A scarf. So
Wear
you
without
would be
shirts.
no top on, but with a scarf on to model a scarf.
With each side of the scarf covering
The mood.
in a
Dave.
slightly saucy way.
Dave,
his
naughty.
boobs.
Have you got a button for saucy, Dave?
No.
Nah.
I forgot about that one.
That's as saucy as it is.
Male sport
Yeah,
bras.
that's a good one.
Fair play.
And which?
Male sports bras.
It's more only scans than only fans, though, isn't it?
Fair
There
play.
you go.
Listen, fair play, Ned. Thanks for your input.
Thank you.
Right, we are going to leave it there. Thank you very much for this wild and wacky.
It has been.
It has been. It started off on a low-key Everton thing, but we're very much all
It started
cheered
off
up.
a bit like Everton at Doncaster, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. It
You
did.
know, I mean, largely disappointing, but it got better.
I think so. I've enjoyed it anyway. I've enjoyed it. Dave, massive thanks as always, mate. Get yourself back down to Bourne End on your paddleboard and get some
Show
good
off
pictures.
those ankles.
Those lovely ankles.
I am going out again today.
I wouldn't. I don't. It doesn't surprise me if it's. Is it as warm down? Is it warm?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How would he know if it was as warm
That's why.
down
That's
there?
why I stopped.
Yeah.
I put the tip in and then reduced and pulled back out.
That's what I like to do.
Is it? Well, there you go. Why wouldn't you? Right.
The toe in.
He will put with his great feet. Obviously.
Sound and vision.
That's the one. Sound and vision. All the sound bites of being here. Dave's going off on his paddleboard.
go.
Take a picture of your lovely feet with your wetsuit on and your
I
paddleboard.
will, just for you. I'll sit
Do
on
it.
the group chat.
Get it on the group chat. Right. Thanks very much for listening. See you later. Bye bye.
Bye.